Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this live stream. I'm live on Celebrity Infinity. We're at sea, so fingers crossed the internet will be good. But I'm currently on the floor of an ocean view cabin. It's quite late here. We're cruising around Greece. So this was a very last minute, budget, cheap kind of cruise. And I'm excited to tell you all about it. So if you have any questions, please put question in capital letters in the comments, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. Okay, so many of you already in here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm hoping this is the same time as normal. I'm in a different time zone, so fingers crossed that is right. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. First question is, will I need a raincoat for an April or May Mediterranean cruise? I would never really take a Mediterranean cruise without a raincoat. So yes, it could rain. Probably it's going to be nice in April and May, but just put a small, what we would call a pack-a-mac. Not sure if that's a Britishism, but a small raincoat. You can't go wrong with that. Hello to the cruise boys who are in the chat. Hello, Nancy, who's in here. It's so nice to see you. Cruise boys say, have you eaten all the cookies yet, or did you leave something later? They're freshly baked every single day, so I can never complete the cookies. But Celebrity do have some really, really good cookies, and they're good because not only are they good, but the access to them is good. On a lot of cruise lines, they have good cookies, but you have to ask for them at certain times. On here, it's 6:30 a.m. till midnight, and I've never been there and there's not been cookies. So I think that's pretty good. So the ship I'm on is Infinity. She is the joint smallest, I believe, with Millennium, and she was launched in the year 2000. So I did take a cruise last year on Celebrity Edge, which is one of the newest, most exciting celebrity cruises. So it's interesting to compare. Yes, I don't. Okay, thank you so much for all of your questions, and thanks to the moderators who are looking after these chats. I appreciate it. Fraser says, do you find celebrity product translates well across their ships? Oh, I've lost the comment. Do older ships feel a similar vibe to the likes of Edge? Yes. When I'm sort of walking around and I'm in the atrium, I'm like, this, you can absolutely tell how this inspired Edge. You know, it's different, of course it is, but it's you could show me a picture of something and I'd be like, yes, that's Celebrity. Obviously, you know, things have changed from the year 2000 in terms of like, this is the most popular wood in 2000. I'm not sure if you can see the color, but it's kind of orange. You know what wood I mean? And now it's more of a sort of Scandinavian colors. But yeah, you can tell. Pack-a-mac is the proper spelling. Yeah, packing a Mac, a rain Mac. Pack it. Pack-a-mac. Alberto says, Emma, I've been following you for ages and I wonder if you can teach us a way to find the best deals like websites, etc. Absolutely, I can. If you go to emmacruises.com and give me your email, I have a free email course. It'll send you an email every 3 days and it goes through, you know, when the peak times are, when you should book, how you should book, what you can book, what else you're going to have to pay for, gratuities, seasickness, everything I know is in that free course. So please check that out. We have people watching from Germany, the USA, all over the world. Thank you so much for joining me. Jeffrey says, I thought British people called cookies biscuits. The ones on here are definitely cookies. Cookies and biscuits are different things. If you called that a biscuit, that would be wrong. It's definitely a cookie. Catherine says, as the Infinity is an older ship, what kind of condition is she in? I'm going on it in September and I'm curious what to expect. It's interesting because you can tell that it's a ship from 2000, but you can tell that they fixed it. You know, the things that you'll notice are like, oh, that one's different. Like there might be 4 hooks and one of them is like the back is different or something. And you can just tell, oh, they fixed that because obviously they have. 2000 was a long time ago, but nothing is actively broken now, if that makes sense. Just occasionally you'll go along the corridor and be like, oh, there's like a step up for no reason, or a step down, or something is just slightly like, I don't know, everything that's in here, like the chairs and stuff, that's all new. You know, it's not really from the year 2000. But you can tell that she's from 2000, but not in a bad way. Have you bought a soda package? They don't do soda packages. If they did a soda package, I would have bought one, but they only have a soft drinks package, which when I looked, it was before the cruise was £28 per person per day, and that's a lot of soda. I'd have to drink at least 8 sodas a day to get my money back, and I'm definitely not doing that. So I'm just paying as I go. It is an American cruise line, so there is 20% gratuity on every drink on top of the gratuities that you pay every day. It's just something to get used to on American cruise lines, but it works out about $4.60 for a soda, like a can of Coke, which, you know, to get £28 a day, I'd have to drink a lot of it. And I do like soda, but you know, I'll probably have 2 cans a day rather than 8. So yeah, normally a soda package would be sort of £12, something like that. Are the Greek islands nice and quiet this time of year. Yes, absolutely. I've been to some of the places in summer and they can get very, very busy. But yeah, we've never been docked anywhere with another cruise ship. We're always the only one there, and everything's been open. I think a lot of people worry that out of season stuff will be closed. No, it is fine. Yeah, Jamie says they don't do soda packages, only soft drinks. So soft drinks includes coffee, mocktails, juices, all that kind of stuff. And normally that's sort of double the price of a soda package. On Royal Caribbean, they do have a soda package. So normally I get that. And Celebrity is owned by Royal Caribbean. Yes. Sorry, I can hear people around because cruise ship cabins are not soundproofed. And I imagine if someone's listening to this here, it's a bit strange. Yes. This is actually not my cabin. I booked myself a balcony cabin. This is my brother's room. They were cleaning my room at this time, so I thought this is a nice one to show you. But they're exactly the same decor. There's just a window instead of a balcony in here. Do you know how cold it will be on the Queen Mary 2 in January? I have no idea where the Queen Mary 2 is going to be in January, so I have no idea. If she's somewhere cold, then yes. If not, then no. Sorry, I don't know any more than that, but yes. Have always considered soft drinks to be sodas. Yeah, soft drink is any non-alcoholic drink. As far as cruise lines are concerned, you'll have an alcohol package and I'd normally say a soft drinks package, yes. John says, only 1 in 4 watching have clicked the like. Yeah, if you could like it, that would be much appreciated. And Nancy says, cannot hear any noises around you on the live. You are good. That is good. I'm just aware that there are neighbors, of course, and I will be a bit quiet on this live stream. Barry says, going to do a Disney transatlantic cruise in May. What should my Wi-Fi expectations be? I don't particularly know about Disney. I've only done 1 Disney cruise and we did not leave UK waters. So that's not a good representation. Could be good, could be bad. Can't say, to be honest. The internet on here has been pretty good. It is Starlink. So I have about 4 megabits, which is still, normally I have 200, 300 at home. So it's much slower, but it's pretty good for a cruise. Yes. Can't wait for the captain's cameo. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do any announcements from the actual captain because it is quite late. It is gone 7 p.m. What version of Captain Hudson do you take when you're on your trips? I love my little plushie. I always take the newest one and then the next one gets retired. So we have version 4 on here, version 4. Kik says, is Celebrity good for solo travel? So I've heard a lot lately about Celebrity charging solos more than double price. And I'm on here with my brother. My brother's cruising solo. He does have 2 chocolates on the pillow though, so that's nice. And he did not pay anywhere near double price. So I'm guessing it's not all cruises that they're charging more than double, but yes. Matthew says, is it possible to transfer a cruise that's already been booked to the US travel agent you work with? Yes, absolutely. There's normally a time frame. Dan, my US agent, he will know far more than me. If you do have a question and I haven't answered it and you've asked it many times, it may be that I just don't know the answer. I do my best to answer as many as I can, but yeah, some things I don't know. If I don't get a chance to answer your question, if you are in Patreon or you're a channel member, I do a podcast pretty much every week and I answer all of the questions in there. Who do you travel with? It depends. Sometimes with my family, sometimes with my friends, sometimes with my boyfriend. Combination of those sometimes. Queen Mary 2, in the Atlantic in January. Yeah, that is going to be rainy. That is going to be cold. The days are probably going to be pretty short. Yes, that's going to be cold. What is the most unique ship you've ever been on? I mean, I've been on ships that have 19 passengers, up to about 6,500. So I've done quite a lot. You know, I just did a ferry cruise where we had 8 ports a day. That was very interesting. If you haven't already seen my video, that's the most recent video. Please check that out because it was very, very cool. What are you most looking forward to on this trip? I just am so happy to not be cold. That's all I wanted. And it's so funny because here, I mean, yesterday was 16 degrees Celsius. And that, for me, this is summer. Dress weather, T-shirts, absolutely. And you see, I think a lot of people on here are from places like Florida, and to them it's very cold, and people are on the pool deck with coats on and stuff. But to me, this is really, really warm, really warm. Is Icon of the Seas worth the cost? It depends. It's your money and it's what you value. Yeah, if you're really excited about a new cruise ship, then maybe. Some weird questions in here today. Thank you so much, everybody. Steve says, how do celebrities' offerings for children 9 and 12 compared to Norwegian or Royal? I have seen 4 children, and I'm not even sure that they were not the same kids on this cruise. There really aren't kids on this cruise. They do have a kids club, though, so those kids pretty much have one-on-one attention, I would imagine. It depends on the kids, of course. I think if your kids need entertaining, they might be a bit bored because, there's no slides, there's no go-karts, there's nothing like that, because it is mostly an adult cruise line. Celebrity, Royal Caribbean are definitely the family version, and Celebrity are the more, adult version of it. But if your kids are more than happy to entertain themselves, then they'll have a great time. If they need to be entertained, then maybe not so much, but depends on the kids. Marmite or no? Definitely not. I don't like Marmite. Definitely not. What do you prefer, new or old ships? I think that a lot of the old ships do really basic things really well. So I think on a lot of the newer, bigger ships, they're so cramming things into every corner because they're really excited about them, which really they're cool. But there's just more space per person on older ships, I find, and things that are basic are often done quite well. Cruise Boys say, Josh loved the kids clubs on Celebrity. They do awesome kids activities. Don't discount Celebrity for families. Yeah, there you go. But I would imagine Josh can entertain himself a bit. I think he doesn't necessarily need go-karts and stuff like that. Chris Techie says, when I was growing up, everything was biscuits in the UK and only cookies in the US. The US has invaded. If it's something this big and it has chocolate chips, I've never called that a biscuit. If someone offered me a biscuit and then they gave me a cookie like that, then I would be really, really confused. Which cruise line has the best coffee? I have never had a cup of coffee in my life, so I'm sorry, I'm not qualified to answer that. If anyone else does know, please pop in. Please pop in the comments. Is there a specialty restaurant you just don't care for at all? I don't really do specialty restaurants. I have done most of the ones that are on here because I took when we were coming back after COVID, I did one of the press launch cruises, so I did get to do Petit Chef and the other ones, and it was good fun, but I don't feel the need to do those when I'm on here because the food, there's no way I can complete all of the included food. So I don't feel the need to try other ones, especially when when I cruise on Edge, they have 4 main dining rooms. So even though you're just doing main dining, it feels different. Each one has a different theme. On here, there's a big main dining room. The fact you've never had a coffee has blown my mind. I live on that stuff. To me, it is just smells like aeroplanes. That's the main thing that I associate this. Which company has the best tea? I mean, I drink peppermint tea, and there's no difference if you get Twinings, Lidl, Tesco. It's just peppermint leaves. I've never had you can't get a particularly good one, I don't think. I think they just are what they are. So yes. Smells like airplanes. Yeah, that's exactly what I associate it with. It's probably the only time that I'm close with coffee. So the smell is all right, but I don't like coffee ice cream or chocolates or anything like that. Kirk says, especially enjoy your river cruise videos. Thank you very much. I really enjoy making river cruise videos. It's just different from this, but it is good fun. It's really nice to be back on. This is a small ship, I will say, but it feels like a very big ship to me because my most recent cruises were on the Norwegian ferry and also on the river cruise. So they're the ones that I did most recently. Isn't there a Norwegian restaurant called Hudson's? Yes, and I went to it on Norwegian Prima. It is their main dining room, and it's one of those main dining rooms with big windows, which I really like. And I did take Hudson there, yes. As Captain Hudson's 4th version comes out, have you already decided what 5 will be? So yeah, we do have version 4 available at the minute. It's either this side or this side. I don't know if I'm flipped around. emmacruises.com/Hudson toy, and that is for less than 2 weeks now, and then he's gone forever, so please don't miss out. And I'm not sure about 5 or 6. I think probably we're going to do something chef related because the majority of the pictures that are uploaded to our website are Hudson with cookies, Hudson with food, and it would be cool to sort of get Chef Hudson's opinion on that. And then we're sort of making an entire cruise ship where we have every single thing, which would be really cool. The best cookies, really, perhaps, yes. I do say that, and then I go on another one, and then that's my favorite. I think when a cookie is in front of me, it's hard to remember the other cookies, but the access to cookies on here is really, really good. Really good. A red parka. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do some sort of coat as well, because the one we have version 4, this is him with his Hawaiian shirt on, so that's warm Hudson, and then I think we're gonna need probably cold Hudson. Yes. What is the most outrageous or out of your comfort zone thing you've ever done on a cruise? I had my head shaved for Macmillan, the cancer support charity, on the stage in the theatre, and that wasn't my plan. I was planning to do it on land. The cruise was over those dates, so I tweeted, I think, saying, "Oh, I'm going to postpone," and it was with Marella, and they said, "No need to postpone. You can do it on board." And I was thinking, in this hairdresser, right? And they said, "Well, if you're going to do it, would you mind do it in the theatre?" And I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, other people are going to see me with hair and then with no hair, so you might as well do it in the theatre, right? And then they said, would you mind if the captain did it? And I was like, well, go hard or go home. So I did that. Yeah. I was so nervous, so scary. Because the people who went to see that show, it was just before the theatre show as well. So they didn't come to see me particularly, and they just see me get my head shaved. But we collected actually money there, like cash money, a couple of thousand we got there. So pretty good. Do you know how many people are on board your current cruise? I think it is 1,700, I've heard, which puts this cruise at about 78% capacity. I say about 78%, like I didn't just do that calculation. 78%, I think, last time I checked. So it's definitely not full. There's so much space. I was up on the top deck today. I could have had 10 sun loungers to myself. Probably also due to the fact that this is really warm for me, but not warm for everyone who's on board. But it's a really nice mix of, there's Americans, people from Canada, people from New Zealand, people from the UK. There's people from, Mexico, Spain, people speaking different languages. Pretty cool. How much did you raise on that the first head shave? Because I've actually shaved my head twice. So the first head shave, I think it was £5,000, which is pretty good. And then I did it again on my channel, and it was $47,000 the second time. If you haven't already seen that live stream, yeah, so probably in total, let's say like $50,000 from that, which is crazy. But we have done more with Captain Hudson now, because all the profits from Captain Hudson go to a charity called Mercy Ships, and trust me, it's far easier to do that than to shave your hair off, because it takes so long to grow back. But that's why my hair is all different. In all my videos, you will see. Gonna have to sew some Hawaiian shirts in different colors to dress up as captain. Yes, I was thinking about that, because I do have, we designed this pattern specifically for Captain Hudson. You can't see it there, but we could put it on a shirt. That would be pretty cool. Thank you. There's also really just nice comments in here, which is much appreciated. But yes, I've been out today in a dress, which was so good. My last cruise was around -15 degrees. It was snow boots. It was really, really cold. I got sort of like snow burn on my face. And this time I might actually get some sun. It'd be amazing. Claire says, what trip insurance company do you recommend for US citizens? It depends on different things, if you have pre-existing conditions or not, and other stuff. So if you go to emmacruises.com, click travel insurance, I have like a 5,000 word guide, which I wrote, which is exactly the answer to this question. Are you still vegetarian? I have been eating meat since, I don't know, last summer, slowly reintroducing it. So no, I am not. No, I'm not. Are there any Mediterranean ports you feel would be better as a land tour and not to see as part of a cruise itinerary, says Steve? It depends. We have overnights on this cruise, and I think if you have an overnight, you have the chance to go out in the evening. There's some places, if you go to a really evening-y place, like you go to Amsterdam and then you sail away at 5, it's a bit different. So yeah, but for me, no, I'd much prefer to visit by cruising, of course. It looks like you've got a bit of sun. I have had a bit of sun. Oh my goodness. Where are you cruising from and to? Athens to Athens. We're doing an Athens round trip, which is amazing. Ross says, as an influencer on board, do you feel your treatment by crew is different? Do you ever get access to areas of the ship most of us muggles don't get to see? Engine room tours and bridge tours, etc. No, I don't. I don't think they let anyone in the engine room. I don't think so. Bridge tours sometimes, but if it's a bridge tour, it'll be, the highest loyalty status gets a bridge tour, or it's not because of me. It's like I'm on a group tour. The crew don't know. Like, I really hope that they don't know. It fills me with dread that, imagine you're a waiter and you see me come in. My worst nightmare is that they would think, oh no, she's taking pictures of the food. Oh no, like that. that's my worst nightmare. So I do everything I can to make sure, as much as I can, that the cruise line doesn't know that I'm coming. I don't wear Emma Cruise's clothes. I don't leave anything in my cabin that would say that, other than Captain Hudson, I guess, but there's 5,000 Captain Hudsons. So I do everything I can. Occasionally people will recognize me, occasionally, but not really crew, they're busy, like they're here to do work. So yeah, I don't think so. Would you ever do self-exploration or cruise arranged in lots of places? Yes, this is a similar sort of itinerary to what I'm doing, and I have done some cruise line excursions when they've been included. I took a Greek cruise with Celestial that included excursions, but I would be more than happy in all those places to do my own excursions. I'm not doing any excursions on this cruise. I don't feel like I need to. Yeah, more than happy. Yeah, Jamie says, surely it's quite common for people to take photos of their food. Lots of people post them to Insta. Yes, it is. I'm not the only person taking pictures of my food. If you see my videos, every clip is 2 or 3 seconds. I don't have big cameras. I just look like a regular person taking pictures of my food. So that is my hope. Like, I absolutely want to fly under the radar as much as I can. And I think I quite successfully do it. So fingers crossed that carries on. You can do engine control rooms, but not the engine room itself. Interesting. I would not have a clue. Not have a clue about that. Wi-Fi is great. Is it Starlink? On NCL, I've only had a horrid internet connection experience. Yes, it is Starlink. It cost me £120, I think, for this cruise, and it's been good. Like, I'm happy to pay it when it actually works. Yeah, it is good. Okay. Oh my goodness. So questions. Emily says, do you think LGBT folks are welcome on all the cruise lines you've been on? Yes, some have more, LGBT meetups than others. Some just don't say anything. But yes, absolutely. There's plenty of LGBT people who cruise and absolutely love it. I know there's loads of you in the comments. So please, yeah, Cruise Boys say absolutely yes. What seafood do you not eat? I don't eat seafood really at all. So that's it. Where is your brother, says David. I think he's maybe I don't know, maybe in the theater, maybe in one of the bars. Brother is operating the camera. He is not. John says £120 for unlimited internet. It was the lower package of internet, so I don't think I can stream YouTube videos and stuff, but you can do like a one-on-one call like this. I always think that the YouTube Live is going to need a lot of internet because a lot of people are watching it, but that's not how it works. This is the same as me doing a Zoom call. It's just one video feed, and then YouTube takes it and it shares it out everywhere. So yeah, that was doing it pre-cruise. It's pretty much always cheaper to buy it pre-cruise, so I bought it pre-cruise, and I'm hoping that I'm not really going to spend much extra on this cruise. I don't have a drinks package, so I have a Coke Zero budget, and that's it. I'm not doing any excursions. I prepaid the gratuities, so they're about £150, I think, per person, but I always pay those, so I just prepay them. And I think that's it. I did do $10. Yeah, it must be dollars. $10 in the casino. Lost $10. So there's that. Yes. Yes, Cruise Boys, LGBT family always feel very welcome and safe on cruise ships. There you go. Hello, Tom and Dom. It is nice to see you. Yeah, Jamie says, wow, look at that big pipe. Oh, there's some buttons over there. I wonder what they do. Yeah, exactly. Ross says, can we get a tour of your camera bag? Do you mainly shoot on a phone or carry a professional DSLR? I will show you my camera bag. Ready? This is what it is. It's dirty. It's been in the case. An iPhone. Almost all of my content is filmed on an iPhone. I don't bring a DSLR. I have no idea how to use DSLRs. I do have a Canon camera that I use for my videos that are filmed at home, but on a ship, it is iPhone. I have an Insta360 as well, just for those shots that look like drones. I'm not going anywhere near a drone, but 95% of my videos are on my iPhone, and they used to be 100%. Do you bring side along with you to save money? I don't know what side means. Soda. Oh no, I didn't bring any because we flew into Athens and got straight on the ship. So I had a transfer. I can't really be like, stop, I need to go buy Pepsi. So I didn't. I do bring little bottles of squash, so I have juice when I'm in my room, and that's it really. Like, it doesn't do me any bad to not drink 8 sodas a day. Like, that's too much. Yes. But that's pretty much it. You know, during meals, I just have water. That's fine. There's always ice water. I think a lot of people worry that the crew are going to find it weird if you just drink water. Our whole table just drinks water at meals. I think they're happy to have to do anything. They don't have to go get any drinks. So yeah, just have water with meals, and then I'll normally have, you know, a Coke Zero in the evening and just pay for it. You know, it's much cheaper to buy one drink that's $4.60 than, I think it was 35 or something dollars per day for the soda drinks package. Does squash contain real fruit juice? Good squash does. Yeah. I have these super diluted ones, though, the ones that are like this big, and they do like 30 drinks. So when I'm in my cabin, I mostly just drink squash. Yes. Barry says, I'm an American. I hear you reference squash most weeks. What kind of drink is that? It's diluted juices. It's like flavored water. It's like you have vitamin water, those different colors. It's that. But, you know, berries and orange and lemon and that stuff. I will say on Celebrity, they have more included drinks than any other. So if you're in the buffet, they have like fruit punch, they have guava, they have lemonade. And what I normally do is take like the fruit punch and then water it down, and then it makes squash. So that's good. What is the discount product today? So it is in honor of this amazing review I got of my Cruise Pro and Going with the Flow t-shirt. So the discount is Cruise Pro Flow, and it is on these ones. And let me just show you, because this is just such a brilliant review to get today. So here is the picture. Like, how cool is this? I think this is very common to have one Cruise Pro and 3 people just going with the flow. So there's checklists on both of those. And the Cruise Pro is like, I, you know, found the cruise, paid for everything, organized, packed, all of that stuff. And then the other ones are like, nope, didn't do any of that stuff. And it is so true. So true. Let me just put my banner back up. Where's my banner gone? Here it is. So that's on the sets of those t-shirts. There's also mugs. People like getting those on mugs sometimes. So that is our discount. That is a great pick. It is, isn't it? It's really cool. Really, really cool. Love hearing about the included drink selections. Yeah, it's more than most cruise lines, because a lot of cruise lines, they'll have juice, but it's only in the buffet and it's only for breakfast time. It's not in the rest of the day. And some cruise lines, you know, I took my Costa cruise, and on the first Costa cruise I took, they only had tea for like a couple of hours a day. Whereas here, you know, the buffet is open, I think 1 a.m. till, you know, 6 in the morning. Like, it opens again at 6 in the morning. And then that whole time there's tea, there's coffee, there's water, there's iced tea. I don't drink iced tea, but I think a lot of people like iced tea. And then a couple of juices and lemonade. I will say it's not what we in the UK would call lemonade. I think in the UK, lemonade has to be fizzy. Right, it's a fizzy drink, but I think in other places it doesn't. So it's more like lemon squash, but it's real lemons in it, so it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's easier to not have a drinks package on here than on most other cruise lines anyway. Thank you so much for the gifted 5 memberships. That means 5 random people. Here we go. Linda has one. You'll have access to our Discord chat. You can join us in there. We have hundreds of podcasts you can listen to. And if you have any questions, just drop them in there, and I go through every single one every week. Apart from if I'm away, like I am away right now, but we'll get back on it next week, I promise. Richard says, do you have any cruise haters in your life, and have you ever cruised with them? I don't think I would get to cruise with them if they were cruise haters. I've met people on cruises, you know, who come up to me and they say, hi, I've seen your videos. And I say, oh, that's amazing. Nice to meet you. Are you having a good cruise? And they say, no, just no. Like, I've had that a couple of times, but I just say, oh, I hope it gets better, and then that's it. Most people, even if they were, you know, oh, I'm feeling seasick, but I like the ship, or oh, I don't really like the food, but I like the entertainment, or something. Most people are like that, but occasionally some people don't like it, but that is it. Have you explored much of Athens? I have. I have been to Athens before. I stayed in Athens for a few days before I did a celestial cruise, so that was pretty cool. This time it was literally airport transfer here. I booked it all together. I used my travel agent Emma, so she put together the transfers, the flights, the cruise, everything. I flew in on the day of boarding the cruise, and I know a lot of people say don't do that, but it's not that far from the UK to Greece. And if the flight was cancelled, I would be getting Emma on the phone, and she would have to sort it out, not me. So it's very different. I think, you know, I'd never dream of flying to the US, for example, and then boarding a cruise that same day. But if I'm going to Barcelona, or I'm going somewhere where there's loads of other flights. If my flight's cancelled, there's other flights. And also it's not that far between each port. If you did miss one, you could get to the next place. So it is okay. Just joined, and I wanted to ask, how is the Celebrity Infinity, and is there anything I need to know about it? I will be on with my family in July of this year. I think it's just a nice ship. I really enjoy it. There's nothing particularly you need to know about because you don't have to book theater shows. You just show up. This cruise is pretty quiet, so often I'm sat there 5 minutes to go and I'm thinking there's no one here. Are people going to come to the show? But yeah, if you have any specific questions, please let me know. But there's nothing that jumps out of, oh my gosh, you must pre-book the theater shows on some cruise lines, or you must do this or that. I don't think you can go too far wrong, really. I don't think so. Yes, I did convert the cruise boys. I started their love of cruising. Which cruise line has the best cake at sea? It's tricky because some cruise lines have very foamy cakes, and some people love that. And I don't really want all of that fake creamy stuff in my cake. I just want a stodgy cake. So yeah, it depends. The one that comes to mind for me is Cunard, which you may not think about, but they had the most amazing donuts. Oh my goodness. And cakes and everything. They had this whole buffet of them. Oh, they were so good. Have Celebrity fixed their app, or is it still rubbish when on board? I've not had a single problem with it. It has not crashed once. Nothing has gone wrong with it. You wait, now it's going to go wrong, but nothing's gone wrong with it. I can see my bill on there. I can see every £9.60 every time I get a Coke Zero, 2 Coke Zeros, that is, every time we get 2 Coke Zeros. But it works pretty well, so I don't know if I can show you. But here is my £9.60s. But yeah, it works. We're at sea. You can see the schedule. You can see the dining. You can see the menus in advance. That's pretty good. I really like to see the menus in advance. Is it the same app? Yeah, it's the same app. It's the same app as the Royal Caribbean app as well. So if you've seen that, then that'll be exactly the same. I need to just move my foot because I'm sat on it and I can't feel it anymore. All right. Have you done a cruise to Mexico? Yeah, I've done a couple of cruises that stopped in Mexico. Bella says, my 12-year-old kiddo didn't like the Holland America Kids Club. When you were that age, which kids club did you like the best? So I cruised entirely with Norwegian when I was a teenager. Holland America is not one I particularly think of for teenagers. I think it's normally an older passenger demographic. But yeah, Norwegian, absolutely loved it. Took my first at 11, another at 13. Yeah. What is your yearly cruising budget? Sorry, just being curious and envious. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about last year because someone else told me the average cost to raise a child. And I was like, I spent less than that on cruises last year. So yeah, I don't know, but it's definitely not as much as you think. Definitely not. Sitting on your legs is risky for blood clots, but it's also keeping me flexible. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Have you cruised to Canada? Yes, I took a cruise out in New York and we went to Canada. It was very rainy. It was a carnival cruise, but it was good. It was really good. Demand to know what you have against land. Land is a great way to get to a cruise. Nothing against land. I like living on land, but I prefer being at sea. And you can't even tell right now really that we're at sea. The seas have been very calm. Fingers crossed they stay very calm. But yeah, we're not really going very far in between ports. There's not massive expanses of open ocean. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is like a 2 in movement scale, as in occasionally I notice that we're moving, but nothing. Definitely not going to feel seasick on here. Definitely not. Disaster, but the newer ships have come out since, so I guess it was updated. Yeah, I don't know what year it was I took my first celebrity cruise, maybe 2018. I don't really remember using it. I could watch my own video, I guess, and see what it was like then. But since the pandemic, since we've restarted cruising, it's a pretty good app, I think so. The good thing is, Celebrity is owned by Royal Caribbean, so they have all the same tech, and they know what they're doing. Chris says, do you think cruise lines will order new ships to replace the older, smaller ships as they age out? Big ships can't get into every port. I don't think so. I think cruise lines make a lot more money on the big ships per person. It's just economies of scale. It just makes sense. You know, they only have to pay for one docking fee and they can get more people on there. They only have to pay for one medical center. You know, might be bigger, but it's still easier than, you know, multiple small ships. You know, if you have two ships that hold 2,000 people or one that holds 4,000 people, the 4,000 person one is probably making more money per person. And they can always just not go to ports if they don't want to. So yes, I think we're just going to see that smaller ships are more luxurious. It's just going to be more expensive, which is just the way that it is going, just the way it is going. Carol says, please help Emma by hitting the like. Yeah, if you can do that, that would be much appreciated. I would imagine we'll see more of the ship within a ship concepts. Yes. Does anyone listen to these live streams, just listen to them and not watch them? Because sometimes I catch myself, you know, I'm reading the comments, but if you were just listening, I don't know if you would know that I'm reading a comment. I don't have a different voice. It's just the same voice. Would you suggest an Alaskan cruise? I'm not sure I can bring myself to go somewhere cold and frozen when the Caribbean exists. I'm from Manchester. It's a completely different. Going on a Caribbean cruise versus going to Alaska, completely different. I would absolutely recommend it 100%. It can be sunny in Alaska. Like, it's not always raining. And if you're from Manchester, you know, worst case scenario is going to be the same amount of rain as at home and probably better. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people just listen. Interesting. Hopefully you can work out what is a comment. I have to do some voice or accent or something. Yeah. Doing a 11-night Royal Caribbean British Isles cruise. Any recommendations on where to do excursions and where not? I didn't do any excursions on my British Isles cruise. If you check out, I made a video actually about the ports, which I don't normally do. So it's called I visited 37 of Britain's best sites or something like that. So if you check that out, then you'll see if you're up for doing what I did. We did get on trains and stuff. It was totally fine. But yeah, Ross says, just say question beforehand. Question. Matt is sharing the discount to the Mia Tui bags. Yes, thank you very much for sharing that. I, of course, have my backpack, my packing cubes, my toiletry bag, my makeup bag, all of that stuff here, as I do on every single cruise, of course. Recommend a winter cruise to Norway, says Peter. I recommend it too, but it's definitely not an entry-level cruise. It's an advanced cruise because it's probably very dark. It's probably very rocky. That's where I've had the worst seasickness. And it's just very different from any other cruise. So yeah, I would recommend, you know, if you're a first-time cruiser, you can't really go wrong with something like a Mediterranean cruise where you're going to see a different country every day. If you're worried about seasickness, just do a cruise that has no sea days. You know, you're very unlikely to get seasick if you don't have any time at sea. So, yeah. Do you prefer to cruise with an older or younger demographic? Good question. I prefer to cruise with a mix of people. I would much prefer not to be on a cruise with everyone being young or everyone being old. Good. Yes, I am glad. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I only bought the lower one. So if this is still working, I think that's pretty good. I don't think I need to stream, but they have different levels, like a basic level and then a premium. So it looks pretty good to me. I would take it. Mediterranean cruises are so very busy. No downtime to enjoy the ship unless you skip a fabulous port. Yeah, it depends where you're going. You know, if you do a 7-night Mediterranean cruise, you're probably going to have one sea day, maybe 2, but you don't have to have any sea days. But you can always stay on. Like, if you don't want to go off, or you can go off in the morning and have the afternoon on the ship, or you can go in the morning and yeah. No one's going to be like, get off and then come back. You don't ever have to get off the ship if you don't want to. Apart from if you're cruising somewhere like Japan and you need to go through immigration, that's the only time where everyone has to get off the ship. Ship internet question, just as it freezes. Well, we've done pretty good. We've done pretty okay. Just jinxed it. Oh, well, that's okay. Which Captain Hudson has been the most popular? Version 2 sold the most. We had 1,800 and something of version 2. Version 3, I was away when it closed, so we didn't get that last spike, and I had a lot of people say that they missed it, so I felt a bit bad about that. But we had, I think, 1,700 of version 3, and we're at 1,600 already of version 4. So I think version 4 is going to be the most popular. There's normally a spike at the end when, you know, I say this is the last day and then he's never available again. We normally get a spike then. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Chris says 7 people gave this live stream a thumbs down. Seriously, what do people want from a Q&A live stream? You ask and Emma answers. Yeah, it can be the smallest thing. You know, people will just be reminded that I exist and they'll down or unsubscribe or something, and that's totally fine because we don't want them on this live, so that's okay. And Nancy says, do you buy souvenirs? No, I don't buy souvenirs. I've never been interested in fridge magnets or key rings or anything like that. Just has never interested me. I've never really had a lot of stuff. I don't really like stuff, which is probably why I spend all my money on cruises and travel and food, probably. Can you share any update on your project with the map maker in Ukraine, says Bill. Yes, this sounds weird to say like this, but if you have seen my regular YouTube videos, I have a map in the background, and I reached out to them because they have all of these little pins. They have planes and other stuff, but they don't have cruise ships, right? So I thought we could work together to do something. They've given me one to give away, which I'm going to do on a live stream, and then everyone who buys this map is going to get the cruise one for free. So that's going to be a live stream when I'm home. But it should be interesting. I think the pins have been delivered to me today. I think because I got the picture of it at home. So fingers crossed. I'll let you know more about that in a couple of weeks. Yes, Mercy ships are going to have so many. Yeah, I haven't counted how many are actually going to Mercy ships yet and how many are staying with us. But I mean, us as in us, not me. But yeah, I'm not sure. Boarding the Infinity after you, is sunscreen needed? I have been wearing sunscreen. Yeah, I would recommend it. Watch nights are the formal nights. So we haven't had, I don't know if there is a more formal night than the formal-ish night that we had. Most nights are smart casual, and we had a chic night. And I'm not sure if we're going to get a formal night, but the chic night was like day 3 or something like that. But it doesn't really make a massive difference. Even the smart casual, pretty much every day you need to wear trousers in the main dining room for dinner. That's pretty much the rule. And like, you need to have a collar if you're a man. It does seem a bit unfair because, you know, I can wear this dress because it's a dress. I can wear this dress to dinner, even though it's a t-shirt pretty much. And it is shorter than if I was wearing shorts, but that's okay. So I don't know. Jamie says they need Captain Hudson pins on that map. That is also a good idea. Maybe we'll do something like that. I'm not sure. We will see. We will see. Oh, chic night is the formal night. Then we've already had one, day 3. It wasn't particularly formal. I didn't really see anyone dressed up particularly, and I went to the buffet and I avoided it. So there's that. What status level do you have with cruise lines? Does it encourage you to go with that line again, or do you think it would if you're a normal cruiser, says Ross? I don't think anyone should be following the loyalty status. I think that's just a silly game because even the perks, you know, I have the top level with Norwegian, which I earned by actually cruising with them. And then I have the level with MSC because they match my Norwegian status. That's pretty much the only ones that I have. And, you know, I like the free bag of laundry and I like the specialty meal I get on MSC. I do like that one. But there's that's not a goal. You know, if I was so set on I will only cruise with Norwegian because I have platinum status, I might miss out on an amazing cruise with Royal Caribbean or with Azamara or something really random. So if you want it, you can just buy that cruise. Yeah, you could just buy the laundry, the specialty meal. I mean, yeah. Cruise Boy says, Emma did an interview on status with us. I did, and I think I pretty much had the same answer. I was like, there's not great. The perks are not that great. Yeah. Bill says, you look just like Dr. Becky, the space scientist on YouTube. I do get this comment most weeks. Most weeks. We've had conversations, so we have proved that we're not the same person. Yeah, cruise status only matters if you like or love that particular line. Yeah, but even still, you know, a lot of people think, oh, I found this and I really like it, so I'll never do anything else. And I understand because it's not just money you're risking, it's your time, you know, more than anything else. Is a big commitment. But there might be something that's just slightly different. The cruise lines will all say, we are it. Nothing is as good as us. We are the best. A lot of them are very similar. Very similar. Yeah. Yeah, the highest loyalty status I have is with Norwegian because I took my first Norwegian cruise when I was 11. Whether I deserve it for cruising at 11, I didn't pay for it, but, you know, my parents paid for that one, thankfully. But it is what it is. I don't think kids anymore can get the loyalty status on Norwegian. I think they changed that. But it was a long time ago that I did that. Nancy says, how many cruises have you done in total? If we count absolutely everything, including the cruise that was cancelled at dinner, including barges, including 2-day press launches of Norwegian Encore or random cruises like that, then I'm at 68. I think I worked out I've done about 50 something for work, and then the rest are normal cruises before I started this, or ones that I try and take one a year now where I'm not working, but I don't really like to do that. Cruise boys say kids can get NCL status. Josh has signed up for our Viva cruise in 2 weeks. Amazing. That is pretty good. I don't think every cruise line does that. I think some of them just say you're a kid, you can't have it, but that's good. They deserve it. I think I earned it, right? Oh, Jonathan says, I literally said I took my first cruise at 11, exactly along with you at the same time and inflection. Have I heard that too many times? Maybe. One of these days we should do a trivia, but it's just me. It's just about me. We used to do, during the pandemic, we used to do cruise trivia on this channel, which was really fun because, we were all at home and they kept saying, oh, we'll restart cruising in 3 months. We'll restart cruising in 6 months. We'll restart cruising. Yeah. Thankfully, though, they didn't just say to us, oh, it'll be 18 months, because that would have been terrible. What is special about Pepsi Max, says Jack? It is just the best drink. There's nothing in the world I would prefer than a Pepsi Max. You could give me £1,000 budget, I'll still buy Pepsi Max. There's no fancy champagne in the world that comes close to Pepsi Max. It is just so good. And it's good. And also, this ship is a Coke ship. Most cruise ships are Coke ships. And after being on here and drinking Coke Zero, when I go home, that Pepsi Max is going to taste even sweeter. It's going to taste so good. So good. Jay Smith says, I'm late joining. Sorry if you have already answered this. Do not worry. I don't expect you to come in and know every single question that I've answered. But did you book a guaranteed cabin? And if so, when was your cabin allocated? So something a bit weird has gone on with my cabin here, and I need to sort of work out what's going on, because I booked a guaranteed balcony cabin, yes. And my cabin was just a random cabin until I got on board and I had the luggage tags and everything. And then I was upgraded to one which is in the retreat area. I don't have retreat perks, so I don't have the drinks package, I don't have the Wi-Fi, but I'm in that area. Not sure why that happened. We have a lovely big balcony at the back now. It's great, but I need to know before I say on the internet for sure what is going on there, because it seems a bit weird. But yes, up until I got on board, I thought I had a particular cabin, and then it changed. To be honest, that has happened to me before. So your cabin can be assigned from the minute you book it all the way up until when you get on the ship. This ship is 70-something% full, so I think they rejig things a little bit. My cabin definitely has a bit more updated decor, so it's good for me to be able to compare, but it is a bit... yeah, it's a bit weird. It doesn't seem like a natural upgrade to me. I do everything I can to not let the cruise line know. So I get questions like, how is the Lumine? I'm not going in there. I don't have retreat. I don't think. I think I'm just moved the cabin so that I can see the cabin. But I need to work out what that is. Also, I'm on here with other people, so, that would be really weird to I don't know, but I need to work it out before I say anything. But it's nice. It is good. Have you cruised on Virgin? I watched a video of someone on a Virgin cruise and it was not that impressive. I have, but also I don't know that I really can say that I have, because it was one of those just after the pandemic cruises. It went nowhere. I did get to eat all the Virgin food, which I think that's probably one of the main selling points for me, is the Virgin food. They don't have specialty restaurants. Everything is just included. So yeah. Yeah, Matt says the booking gods found your name. My agent Emma did tell them it was my birthday, so it might be something like that. But yeah, interesting. I need to work it out. I need more information before I can say. Pepsi Max is Pepsi Zero Sugar. I think it's different. I went all the way to New York and I had a Pepsi Zero Sugar, and I was like, I don't think it's the same. I think it's different. Could be anything, maybe a cabin fault. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But it feels like I'm sort of pretending, because I'm in the retreat area, but I'm not I'm not really. Yeah, I don't know. It is nearly the end of this live stream. It is zooming by. So if you have any quick fire questions and you can answer them in the chat, that would be much appreciated. Jamie says, you went all the way to New York just for Pepsi. Yeah, of course I did. I'm collecting them from all over the world. Did you know actually Norway is where they consume more Pepsi Max per person than anywhere else? Apparently. Bella says, I love that you show that it doesn't have to cost a fortune to cruise and you can have fun. Of course not. Absolutely not. The lead-in price for this cruise, bear in mind you very rarely get the lead-in price, but the lead-in price was $449 for 11 nights. So £449 for 11 nights. I upgraded to a balcony, which was £250 each more, which I absolutely need the sun. Like it feels like a long time since I've seen the sun. So I don't mind. Andrew says, that might be a bit naive. What is the retreat area? What do you get there? I don't know. That's why I can't answer this question, because I don't know. So yeah, I will find out. But I'm not really in the retreat, so I don't have the drink. I think normally you get drinks. I think you get Wi-Fi. I think you get to go to this special restaurant. But I'm not really in there. I think it was just a free room. The ship's not very full. It was my birthday. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, the lead-in price was $449. I paid an extra £250 per person for the balcony. Don't regret it at all. Absolutely good. And you have to add on gratuities on that. This is an American cruise line, and you do get used to it quite quickly, but I prepay my gratuities. I always pay them. They're the tips. American cruise lines will add them on per person per day. And then every time you buy a drink, it'll have a 20% tip added onto it. And it will have the line for extra tip. And I feel so bad crossing it out and just signing. But also, I've already tipped literally twice. I'm not doing a third tip. Like, it's a bit weird. Yeah. Retreat area is a private area for suite guests. Yeah, I don't know where that is, or if this ship even has one. I'm not sure. Ross says, is this your only job? I mean, going on a live stream is not my only job. YouTube is like a tiny part of what I actually do, but I studied maths at university and I got a job in data development. So yeah, you say this is very different to what you wanted to do growing up. I mean, I never grew up and thought I want to work in data development. Yeah. Jamie says, take it you also had to pay for flights. Yeah, I had to pay for flights and transfers. In my full video and my full review on my website, I'll break it down, because I can also do, my brother's in here solo in the ocean view, and I think that's quite interesting. So I'll break down how much the cruise cost, the gratuities. Even with flights and transfers, though, it was under £100 per night per person, which is very much my happy place, especially for Celebrity, which are definitely a more premium cruise line. It's really small things that I think make them more premium. Like they have takeaway cups in the buffet. They have like blankets just around the ship, which is really nice. Yeah. Yeah. Nico says, on the bigger Celebrity ships, the retreat has its own pool, hot tubs, and a restaurant. Yeah, I don't know if there is on here. I don't know. William says, do cruise staff not get paid that well? I really don't understand the whole tipping thing. This is a whole thing. This is the whole thing. So the way it works on American cruise lines is they want the price to look lower, so they add on gratuities that are optional. You can take them off, but if you do take them off, you're taking them away from the people who are actually working on here. So I'd never recommend taking them off. If you're cruising with a British cruise line, it is just the price, and it's just a different way of getting paid. I think I prefer the just all-included option, because I'm not going to take them off anyway. So yeah. Why are there more maths in the UK and only one math in the US? I don't know. It's definitely just maths. Connie says, are your amazing rates because Emma O gets you a discount? No, I don't get any discount, and I don't even get trade discount. I don't even get what the travel agents get. That is the price from the website. So what I always do when I book is I screenshot everything from the Celebrity website and email it to myself, because by the time I script the website, I'm going to forget how much it was, ocean view to balcony or anything like that. So yeah, the lead in on the website was £449. And then, yeah, $250 extra for the balcony. Don't regret it. Based on 2 sharing, that is. I should just say that. And then gratuities, £150 per person. And then flights and then transfers. Yeah, I'll put it all together in the post when I get home. If ever you're curious, if you go to emmacruises.com and type in whatever cruise line, I always have that in there somewhere. I don't know what your question is, Nancy. She says, I asked twice about the per day price that you preferred, and now you have answered someone. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Yes. Yeah, cruise add-ons like yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Bella says, need to move within driving distance of a cruise port or an airport. Airport works too. It's really not expensive to fly this time of year. No one else wants to do that. The flight is still full, though, I will say. And it is quite a long flight. It was a very, very early morning. It was like a 4 a.m. start. Jack says, how do I convince my dad to go on a cruise since he doesn't like the idea of being stuck on a ship with lots of people? It's really tricky. And I think the way that cruise lines advertise their cruises is if you look at the adverts on YouTube, it'll be like, look, there's a massive thing, all these people, like huge. But that's not really what your cruise is actually like. Today on the pool deck, I could have had 10 sun lounges to myself if I wanted, or if I go in a lounge, there's so many seats here, but you don't really see that. So it's kind of tricky. If you can show him some videos, like the ones I make, hopefully that'll help. But it's not, you never see this many thousands of people together. There's 1,700 people on here. Do I see more than maybe 100 at a time? I don't think so. Cruise Lover UK says, I really like your outfits. Do you have them linked on your website? Yes. If you just Google Emma Cruise's dresses, I put together a post of like this one, for example, and all the ones I'm always asked about. I'm losing my voice slightly. If I had a drinks package, I probably would have got a soda, but I don't have one. Did you fly a discounted airline, Ryanair or EasyJet, or a main carrier? I flew with EasyJet, and that is fine. I've had better experiences with EasyJet than BA, to be honest. Is 75% occupancy typical for celebrity or just because it's off season? Absolutely not typical. Most celebrity cruises will be full. This is just the time of year. This cruise is also cheap because the original itinerary, and a lot of people I've met on here, they booked the cruise for Israel and Egypt. The itinerary changed. I'm guessing people got offered a refund if they didn't want to do it anymore. And yeah, I booked it after that. I booked it very last minute. Callie says, how do you know the occupancy level? The only way to know is to ask at reception, or sometimes the cruise director will say it, in one of their talks. But if you're wanting to find out, you can just ask. Just go sometime when, no one's at guest services. They'll always tell you. They never need to look it up. They just know. They always just know. Richard says, are you off to a show this evening? Perhaps I will. I'm not too sure yet. I need to have a look at the schedule. They do still give you paper schedules on Celebrity as well. So if you can see there, there's one paper schedule. But everything is also in the app. So that's pretty good. How many Cokes have you had so far? During this cruise, I think I'm averaging 2 a day, which, that's, say, $10 a day. That is a lot cheaper than the $35 a day for the soft drinks package. So I still think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing okay, I think. Is there anything good on the menu for dinner tonight? I already had dinner already, but I can tell you what's on the menu if you're interested in it, because all of the menus are just on here. You can just see all of the different ones. You can go main dining. I have select dining, so they have early, late, and select. And what I've pretty much done is booked 5:30 every day because that's my ideal time. But for dinner, the mains, I'm not going to go through everything that's on here, of course, but there's some fish, there's some pasta, there's some chicken, there's some short ribs, there's pork, there's a vegetable korma, chicken, steak. There you go. Pretty much everything. Have you had more cookies or Coke? I think I've probably had more Cokes than cookies. I'm trying to sort of 1 or 2 cookies a day, I think is a good amount. Have you ever been on a cruise that you wanted to get off early? No, I did have one that was cancelled while I was at dinner, but that was not the plan. Not the plan. Jamie says, if you haven't seen that video, by the way, it was my ambassador cruise and they failed a safety inspection and we all had to go home. So yeah, if you check that out on my channel, it's called, my cruise was cancelled after 4 hours or something like that. Do you ever carry your own drink? Some cruise lines let you take 12 cans of soda. You can bring soda on embarkation day on Celebrity, but I came straight from London to Athens, transfer, and then here. So yeah. Pasta, take a drink. I don't have a drink, and we only have 1.5 minutes left on this live stream, so I'll go and get a drink after this. Ross says, have you ever been confined to a cabin due to sickness? Yes. On my Fred Olsen cruise, I had the worst seasickness ever. I didn't leave the room for, I think, 2 or 3 days, and John O'Blessing was getting me bread rolls. That was like the only thing that I would eat because I felt so unwell, and he did get me Pepsi or Coke, and I just didn't drink it, which that's how you tell that I was not well. But that was in the Arctic Circle, that was in March, and that was on a ship that was 25 years old, so hardly a surprise. Thank you, Cruise Boys, for sharing my link to my cruise was cancelled. Version of every single YouTube, but these ones are longer and very cut out with the YouTubers. So if you want a full review, or just this is the best place to do it. Go to emirates.com and type it in. So, when I go off, you can just buy the, if you're in Greece and you buy a Pepsi Max, €1.20. That's what it's cost. Am I still here? Yeah, we can still see me. Everything is okay. Right. It is the end of this live stream. And let me just find out where my next live stream is going to be. Because I won't be here next week. I'll be still away, but I will be back on the 22nd. So we'll do the 22nd, same time as normal, 5 p.m. UK. It's so confusing because I'm in the future. But yes, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. My internet's dropped out, but that's okay because we're off. We are sailing. I think this has been pretty good. So this is me from the Infinity, Celebrity Infinity. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This has been really fun. And yeah, I'll share the video. I'm already working on it because I can't wait. Right. See you all later. Bye.